Hi, guys. Welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy. Cindy Watts is the mother of family annihilator Chris Watts. And tonight we will uncover the depths of Cindy Watts and her relentless campaign to support her son's fight to fight. But what is he fighting for exactly? And so if I don't know what he is fighting for, how do I know what she is fighting for? Anyway, maybe tonight we'll figure it out some. I must confess it has been quite a challenge to unearth completely positive interviews and phone calls with Cindy Watts. However, I believe I have found some of both, just like last time. So join me tonight as we witness and hear from both the positive and negative aspects of Cindy Watts in part 2 of our exploration into her communications. Brace yourself for more captivating insights into the puzzling world of Cindy Watts. While we wait for the rest of the campers to paddle on over to Watts Island, I'm going to roll some credits. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there. Bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help me out. I thought this was interesting to kick it off with. Shanann's parents denounce comments from Christopher Watts' mom.
From the small town of Frederick, Colorado. Earlier this month, of course, Christopher Watts admitted in court to killing his pregnant wife and two young daughters. Now his mother speaking out, saying she doesn't believe that happened. Now, you may remember Chris Watts admitted in court to killing his pregnant wife and two young daughters. That was part of a plea deal. But now his mother, Cindy, says she wants to stop the deal before it's too late. She says that Chris admitted to killing his wife, Shanann, but insists he did not strangle his two young daughters.
Yes, I want to stop it before it's too late. I want to talk to him. We haven't been able to talk to him. I love my son. Yes, I love my son no matter what. No matter what. And I want to fight for him. And I don't want him to go down for something that he didn't do.
Now, Cindy says she's only been able to speak to her son once since he was arrested. Chris Watts will avoid the death penalty in exchange for that plea deal. Now, Shanann's family just released this statement into our newsroom minutes ago. It said in part, yes, Chris Watts still chose to murder Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, and Nico. That was the unborn child. Chris Watts still chose to dump the bodies of his own family in oil tanks, and Chris Watts still chose to lie about it until he could lie no more. He pled guilty to murdering his family because he is guilty. Monday evening, the parents of Chris Watts gave an interview in which they attempted to defend their son. In doing so, they felt the need to make vicious, grotesque, and utterly false statements about Shanann. Their false statements, however hurtful and inaccurate, will never alter the truth about Shanann and will never alter the truth about the crimes committed by their son, Chris Watts. Now, Chris Watts will be formally sentenced.
So I can totally get how Shanann's family feels the need to, they have to defend her because she's not alive to defend herself. And so it's put into the family's hand to defend her. And I think in the beginning, Cindy came out swinging because she didn't believe that Chris had unalived the girls. I think they believed the story that Tammy Lee fed to Chris. And it was the story that he gave to his father that Shanann harmed the girls. And so he turned around and harmed her. So I think in the very beginning, that's what she believed. I don't think it's what she believes now, but don't quote me on that. This is all my opinion, my research. We won't watch everything. I'll stop and start. I'll talk over some things. I will put everything that we view down in the description, and for fair play use, you can go down and you can watch and do whatever you want on your own time. In fact, I encourage you to go to the sites and places and the creators that we visit. But for fair play use, I have to do all of this. So let me make sure So over on Reddit, the Cindy Watts speech, this is the speech that she gave at the sentencing, and we did watch it in part 1. And they're saying, does anyone else dislike how CW's mom barely mentioned Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico in her speech? and basically only talked about Chris. I understand that she's his mother, but that was her daughter-in-law and grandchildren, and he's the reason they're gone. I'm not saying that she didn't feel upset that they died, but I just thought it was a little odd that she talked about the murderer more than the victims. But what especially threw me off is the fact that she forgave him in front of everyone, in front of the Rushek family. I honestly don't know how I feel about her doing that, to be honest. It just doesn't sit right with me. Do you guys think that she had the right to forgive him? I'm really interested to see what everyone thinks. And I saw this and I'm really interested in knowing what you think. I totally think she had the right to forgive him and she should forgive him. But I'm not so sure she should have done it in that setting. Like, it's a good point doing it right in front of Shanann's family. Maybe like, I don't know. What do you guys think? How are you guys feeling about that whole speech that she did? Hi, Smarzy. Smarzy says, hi, Amy, just got here. Oh, I am doing much better now that I'm back with you guys. So how are you guys? And thank you for being here. Hi, Kim. Kim says, hey, y'all, ready for another good one? So sorry you're not to hear you're not feeling well. Well, I'm starting to feel better. So you know how that goes with COVID. One day you're okay, and the next day you're back down. And I can't taste anything or smell anything. So that sucks too. And I have a really good sense of taste and smell. And so sometimes it's like, I don't know. I just kind of like not being able to have to taste and smell everything because I can smell things from a mile away, and it's nice to have a little break, but like I want it back. I'm ready to be able to smell and taste again. A week is enough. So how are you guys feeling about the whole speech? Let me give you a little taste of what we're talking about.
This might be hard for some to understand. How I can sit here under these circumstances and tell you, although we are heartbroken, although we can't imagine what could have led us to this day, but we love you. Maybe you can't believe it either. As the Lord said in Jeremiah 3:31, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, I have continued my faithfulness to you. And you, as your mother, Chris, I have always loved you, and I still do. I hate what has happened. Your father and sister and I are struggling to understand why, but we will remain faithful as your family, just as God remains faithful because of his unconditional love for us all. We love you, and we forgive you, son.
So that's a little bit of what I'm talking about. Did you think that was a little too much to turn around and say you forgive him right in front of the Rucheks? And then on the other hand, I get why, like, she wants him to know probably. Well, we're gonna hear that she's really afraid something's gonna happen to Chris, and she's really afraid that he's gonna harm himself. So I think at this point, she just wanted him to know that his family was behind him so that he wouldn't hurt himself. I don't know. I'm just guessing that's one of the reasons why she would do something like that. Moving on, here we have the U.S. Sun reporting, I forgive you, Chris Watts' family. What have his parents said about the Schmurders? The parents of convicted Chris Watts live in North Carolina and are reportedly working on a book about how their son's actions affected his family's life forever, which I am not sure if it's this book or if it's the book that was pre-released that was like 3 or 4 chapters. I'm trying to find it. I know it's somebody else has read it, but they don't have the words on the screen, so I can't read it myself. So I'm just looking for it somewhere in print, even if it's like up on screen and someone's reading it, I can just get the words myself and read it, but I want to be able to read it myself. So if anybody out there knows where I can find it, I would appreciate it. The parents of the book is supposedly titled so if I would have just read one more sentence down, it is the one that was leaked. The book is supposedly titled All My Broken Pieces, and portions of it were leaked on Reddit and Facebook. Oh boy, last year. What have Chris Watts' parents said about the murders? Watts' parents, Ronnie and Cindy, gave statements to the police. Hey, I have a question too. Was Cindy never formally interviewed by the police? Like, did that because Chris admitted it, they didn't get to interview Cindy? Because I was like looking at the interviews and I was like just realizing, they didn't interview Cindy. Interesting. Or did they? And I just missed it. Watts' parents, Ronnie and Cindy, gave statements to the police about their son and the unaliving of his wife and 2 daughters, Celeste 3 and Bella 4. They both believed their son was innocent and repeatedly urged Chris not to confess to something he didn't do. I asked Chris, if you did not do this, do not confess to something you didn't do, Cindy told KMGH at the time. His father, Ronnie, chimed in, adding, if he didn't unalive the children, I want him to face that and let them prove it. Chris reportedly asked Ronnie to speak to him about the murder right before confessing to police. FBI Special Agent Graham Coder allowed Ronnie to hear his son one last time. Some say he was a key component in Chris's admitting to unaliving his family. I think it was a key component too. And I always think at that moment, Ronnie, why didn't you demand that he get a lawyer? Why? And even Cindy, why didn't you fly to Colorado, Cindy? If you had, anyway, there's a lot of like, if I had only done this, right? Cindy supposedly could not believe that her son had committed the heinous crime despite him having confessed to it. She addressed the media and reminded them that her son is not a sociopath. He's not a sociopath. He's not a psychopath, Cindy told the news station. She also asked Chris not to confess if he didn't do it and said her son took the plea deal to save his life. Reports claim Cindy and Chris's wife, Shanann, were at odds and that his parents didn't approve of their relationship. Ronnie and Cindy apparently missed their wedding and disagreed with the couple's decision to leave North Carolina and start a new life in Colorado. Did they disagree with the move to Colorado? Did they even say anything about that? I thought they didn't even mention it. I thought it was the wedding. I mean, like all this new stuff is popping in my head. Hi, Cowboy RC. Yeah, there's so much hurt in both sides of the families. It's like so much more easier to see it now, though. In the beginning, it was just really easy to see Shanann's parents hurt, and the Watts hurt was a different hurt, and it came off as being like a defensive asshole kind of hurt. But now looking at it, I can see the world was against them. They were against their son, and they still have not, to this day, I don't think they separated themselves from Chris. Like, I think they feel like they might as well have committed the crimes because they can't, like, Chris is them and they are Chris, and they don't see that Chris is the asshole that did it. And he's the one that everyone needs to be mad at and upset at. And maybe, like, if there was help, like along the lines of a mistress helping or something like that. But other than that, Chris is the asshole, in my opinion. Sorry, I said asshole like 5 times, but I'm spicy tonight. So here is the interview that they gave to the news station.
No.
What about prison? No, but we got to see him one time. That was that Monday, right before the plea deal. That Monday
Right
night.
before the plea deal, and that was it.
These are the parents of Chris Watts, the man who pled guilty to killing his pregnant wife, Shanann, and 2 kids, Bella and Celeste.
How did he kill her? How did he say he did it when he snapped?
He said he did the same thing that she did to him, that she did to the girls.
His parents went into details about the relationship problems Shanann and Chris allegedly had, but more importantly, spoke about the frustrations with his whole plea.
Are you guys frustrated with this attorneys here? Are you guys frustrated with the direction they've
I'm always looking at fashion.
Yeah.
Sorry. Do you think that they meant to dress alike like that? Because that looks really good with the blue and the hello in between, and then the blue curtains.
I am absolutely frustrated.
We contacted his public defender, but they declined to comment.
Do you guys think he was coerced at all?
I don't know. I have no idea what the public, to me, that all they wanted.
I want to dig deeper into the plea deal to see if there was any, like, what was going on, because looking like having, like, I almost feel like I have fresh eyes on the case, because I couldn't see past their snarkiness and the stuff that they would say. I couldn't, like, and I don't know. I just couldn't see past it. And I'm trained. So I know there's others out there that aren't seeing past it and aren't understanding. And I just ask you guys kind of look into your heart and think, like, what if your child did this? You know? What if your child did this? Like, how would you, like, I don't even know how I'd behave, how I'd be, who I'd be, what I'd do. Yeah. I can't imagine. And I don't know if I could separate myself from the child and me if my child did it. I'm not really sure I could separate myself. Could you? Could you separate yourself? I do have somebody who's a friend in my life now I've made, who her son is in prison. And I listened to her talk, and she's in a great deal of pain. But I've never asked her, like, do you separate yourself from your son and what he did? Or do you feel like you're a part of that too? It's interesting.
To do was just save his life. Just save his life. Well, save his life and life in prison, to me, there's no difference. You know, he's going to die in prison, and there's no telling what will be done to him in prison. And I just want him to fight. I want him to not take this plea deal. I want him to plead not guilty to the children.
After this interview, the Watts are looking into different legal avenues, even looking at another attorney in Denver to take their son's case. There's been some reaction about all this from Shanann's family.
Are you guys worried about some of the backlash about maybe coming out and speaking on behalf of Chris, and what it might do to your guys' relationship, and, you know, speaking out like this about a woman who can't defend herself right now?
But Shanann, I mean, you have to get to know her to be around her. Put it that way.
Her family's attorney sent us this statement. Their false statements, however hurtful and inaccurate, will never alter the truth about Shanann, and will never alter the truth about the crimes committed by their son. Her memory and reputation deserves to be protected, and her family is fully prepared to do so.
I just want to make...
So, again, the Shanann's family felt the need to defend Shanann, and I get that. I get it. Oh my gosh, look at all our dragonflies in here. I see Heavenly. I see Sherry K. I see Cowboy RC. Is there any other dragonflies in here? The Dragonflies is the Parawomenradio membership program. I release the videos early. We do a monthly live. During this hiatus that I was on, I've decided I'm going to do a monthly giveaway as well for the Dragonflies. And I have some videos I'm working on that I'm going to release. I also have some like badges, and you get your own little dragonfly next to you. Lots of fun stuff. And it's $2.99 for all of that. So if you want to be a dragonfly, I would love to have my little dragonflies. On my walk this week, I was like thinking about, in my mind, I said in my mind, my little dragonflies. And then it dawned on me, I'm the mother of dragonflies. I'm the mother of dragonflies. It just made me so happy. I'm so excited. I'm the freaking mother of dragonflies. Okay, let's get moving on. If you really like my content, be sure to become a dragonfly, and that's our membership, and it's $2.99 a month. I release all my videos early. We have special emojis over in the chat room. I kind of share things ahead of time with my dragonflies, and I go live sometimes just for the dragonflies. It's a way that I can support you guys and give you more content, and it's a way for you to support our channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I would love to have you. Listen to AG Tactical. I want to put a disclaimer out there. My opinions are my opinions. His opinions are his opinions. I will put the link for this down in the description. I will speed it up. I'm going to talk over it for fair play use, and we won't watch it all. So, oh, look at, he's got a little kitty cat. Why didn't I even just pick that one at first? And it says good vibes. So, seems like it's going to be good. Here we go.
Having a beautiful Friday right now. It's been pretty slow at work, so I've been able to pump the content out. Speaking of content, we had our second live, y'all. It went crazy again. We had like
is he old or no? Sorry, when was this? This was 8 months ago. Oh wow. And he's got, wow. Yeah.
Concurrent viewers, like everybody was in there talking, vibing, like donating. It was a fire ass night. So anyway, I'm probably gonna do one more live before I get the new camera, but I'm gonna show you guys.
I'm gonna go forward and do this.
Into this thing.
Wake up every morning just crying, thinking this is not gonna be what's going to happen every single day. It's just so hard to get through it.
It's really hard to see her like this because I've been like that. I'm like that. Like, it's like every day you wake up and you're like, oh, geez, I forced myself to go open my curtains. I know it's a good day. I feel like I've achieved something if I've opened my curtains. So.
I just don't know how to get through it.
Tell me about his childhood. Did he play sports? Was he in scouts? What kinds of things did
he played sports. He played sports from the time he was 5 years old up until he was 17. And he was in basketball, he was in baseball, he was in football, and loved NASCAR. He and his dad went to the NASCAR races all the time.
What I tell you guys, 2-3 videos ago, I told you he had a strong relationship with his father, which is so fucking weird to me as to why he would have did something like this to his wife, unless, and I'm not saying his dad was this way, but unless his dad had the same type of morals, like, oh yeah, if she gets out of line, you gotta beat her, or if she does this, you gotta. It doesn't seem like his dad is that.
Their family doesn't strike me as a family that's physically abusive. Do you? I get no physical abuse whatsoever from the family, the Watts family. Like, I don't even get that Chris and his sister were spanked. Like, I don't even get those vibes, but I don't know.
Type of person. But it's kind of like, how are you so close with your dad and you end up doing this instead of just calling them up and being like, hey, this bitch is pissing me off, Dad, I need to talk to you. On some real shit,
it just proves that Chris wasn't close with people. He pretended. He even pretended with his father. And also, he couldn't tell his father. Yeah, I don't think he didn't want his father or anybody to think badly of him, because I think he was seeing both men and women, and I don't think that was acceptable in the Watts family. I'm just guessing.
Right?
I mean, and I'm not it's not acceptable in my family. Like, I come from a family of homophobes, so it's like It's not like I just get those vibes from the family, and I can't prove it. They've never said anything, homophobic or anything like that. It's just the vibe I get.
Instead of doing that, you're gonna go and like, that's what leads me to just wonder, like why don't you just call dad up,
Loved sports. And he was a good kid. Had two best friends, and that's who he grew up with, and still are friends with them.
And I'm told that like one of his friends still writes him. So that's interesting to me. It says something about people that maintain friendships from childhood, I think. Like I have 3 childhood friends from childhood. I don't have anybody from high school, but then I've got a ton of college friends too. But it says a lot about people that can maintain friendships. Like I don't have a lot of friends, but I keep friends. And that says something about Chris, that he doesn't have a lot of friends, but I mean, he's got like 1 or 2 and he keeps them.
Them today. And there's nothing.
Yeah, see, he was a quiet kid. And I don't know, that might be a red flag for me because I was
That
a quiet
is a
kid.
red
I
flag.
have like 2 best friends.
Quiet kids are dangerous kids. I was a quiet kid and I got into a lot of trouble. I got away with a lot of stuff because I was the quiet kid that hung out with the smart kids. And everyone thought I was one of the smart kids too, but I was not. I was like the B student with the smart kids, and I felt like the dumb kid because I was the B student.
Now, in like reality, best friends, I'd probably say I have like 3 best friends that I grew up with. You
Yeah,
guys
so
know who
he's
you
got
are if you
them
guys are
too.
watching this video. And I have good friends. I have a lot of good friends, but best friends, I probably only have 3. I wasn't the most
Like at this point,
like later on in high school.
I wouldn't even call them friends because there's been only 6 years of my life that I didn't know them. So they're more like sisters now. I mean, they're all girls. But yeah, they're all sisters now. I mean, they're like beyond friends. Like sometimes I'll like go through a phase where somebody's my best friend and I had someone say, "But I thought so and so was your best friend." And I'm like, "That's my sister." It's not even it surpasses that. It's like that's my sister. So
School, I became a lot more active and I knew a lot of people and everybody knew me. But in my early years, I was really in my show. Like I didn't smoke weed. I didn't hang out at parties. I didn't do any of that shit. I was like a good kid up until like my last 2 years of high school. If he had that,
no, I wouldn't say B is bad. I wouldn't say B is bad at all. Like if you're a B student, like it's not bad. But I would study. We would get in study groups and I would study. And then we would go take the test and I like would make stupid mistakes and I would get a B plus and they would get an A plus. And it was just that's my life. It's frustrating. I see other people accelerating. And I'm not, and it's just frustrating. But I gotta figure it out somehow, like what I'm doing wrong in life. But sorry, guys. I was feeling really emotional and angry before I did this, and I probably shouldn't have, but I need to do it.
type of childhood, I could see where that.
And I'm kind of like relating too much to this stuff. Like I'm just over emotional and I'm over relating.
Taking him to a negative place.
That would have predicted any of this could have ever happened.
Yeah.
Nothing in his childhood at all. I would have never in a million years thought something like this could happen to him at all.
You didn't see things like him getting into fights? Or...
No fighting. He was quiet.
Yep.
And he got along with people. And he didn't start anything. And he was a perfect teenager, tell you the truth. He did not even rebel. He wanted to go to NASCAR Tech. We made that possible for him.
What did he do after he finished school?
He worked at the dealership as a service technician.
Do you think it was a source of contention with the Watts that Shanann, and I believe Shanann basically told Chris, there's no medical records, that he had carpal tunnel syndrome, and like that was his dream. And why the F did Chris let her do it? Like, it makes me even angrier that that's your dream. And you let someone tell you, yeah, you have carpal tunnel? Oh.
And was making good money and loved it. He bought a toolbox and he started buying his tools and enjoyed it.
Man, it's nothing like doing a job you enjoy doing, man. Like the YouTube shit. I enjoy.
This is so true. Like, I enjoy this stuff so much, and there's nothing like doing something you enjoy. Ugh, there's nothing like it. And yes, I am feeling the good vibes, and it is helping.
Enjoy doing that shit. It doesn't even feel like I'm like really working, but then you make a little money on the side with it, and it's like, damn, I could really see myself doing that with him. I could see, he was making that money, having a good time. Like everything in his childhood seems to be normal, which just leads me to believe that whole quiet thing about him is probably just him holding back, anger and all the other emotions that he doesn't want everybody else to see.
I think the whole quiet thing masked his mental illness. And so nobody, like, there's probably some, like, I don't know, I can't diagnose them and I wouldn't try, but there's probably some kind of like Asperger's or there's something like that in Chris. And it just like kind of probably got pushed aside because he really tries to fit in and he's quiet, and like he would hang out with the kids over the adults at parties, just it's easier to be around kids because you can fool kids more than you can fool adults.
So I'm
Other
sure
people say that kids pick up on stuff better than adults, but I think it's easier for people that are skilled at fooling people to fool kids.
Just took it out
Just
one
play
day
with them like he did.
on the person who was angering him the most, his wife, but nobody else saw that side of him. Some people are just really good at hiding their emotions like that, even from their parents.
He was doing well.
When and where did he meet Shanann?
They met and
Thank you, Kim.
he liked her, she liked him, but it didn't, I don't
Hi,
think
Allie.
it was love at first sight or anything. They took a little
Hi,
while
Valerie.
and I guess got to know each other and, dated. It was always a little strange that she always said a lot of things about Chris in front of me that I didn't like. Like, this isn't the kind of person I would date.
You can tell she really doesn't like it because it looks like she's sucking on a lemon right there.
He doesn't know how to do this, or he doesn't know how to do that.
Oh, wait. Doesn't know how to do what? Sexually? Oh Lord. Oh gosh. See, this is what I'm telling you, people.
I don't think so.
This is what I'm telling you. It may have not been all peaches and cherries on Shanann's side. So there's a comment.
I don't think the sex part was all peaches, and like it wasn't, because he said that she just likes missionary and she always had to take a shower first and she likes what she likes. So yeah.
Who said like, oh no, she loved him, she wanted to keep their marriage together. Girl, I don't know, man. I think it was a woman who messaged me that, and I was like, I was gonna respond, but I didn't want to start the debate up. I'm not too sure.
He looks like a skater boy. Look at his hair. Look how much stuff he puts on his hair. It was just on and on and on, and I just got a bad feeling.
Why is that offensive though? Like every time I hear her say that, he looks like a skater boy. Look how the stuff he puts in his hair. Why is that offensive? Like, is there something offensive about being a skater boy and stuff in your hair that I don't know about? Because I mean, there probably is, but I think that every time. Why is that offensive? It's the least offensive thing that I've ever heard.
Did they get married in North Carolina?
They did. Mm-hmm.
How was that?
We didn't attend.
What?
Really?
Mm-mm.
Oh, they never interviewed either mother.
Oh, hold on now. Oh, this is like You guys see that movie Monster in Law? This is like some Monster in Law shit. She was evil to Shanann. I get it now. They didn't attend the wedding. Neither her or his dad. Oh no. No. That should have something needed to happen to make that family see eye to eye somehow. You didn't go to the wedding. That's some salty shit right there.
And I didn't like the way she treated him.
What do you know about their marriage and their issues?
Oh, very little, very little. You can only observe.
It is salty stuff, but if you don't come from a family that's salty, you don't get it. Like, you don't get it.
I could only observe what I saw when I was around them. Christopher was.
Yeah, she was.
Always seemed anxious, and he when she needed something, I mean, he would run.
They both were. All three of them were. I'm working on a thing about the women in the Watts case, but I believe Shanann, Sandy, and well, I'll say all four, Cindy and Jamie. They were all control freaks, and they all clashed. They all collided.
He wouldn't walk. He would run. He would get it. He just always seemed to be right there at her beck and call.
You didn't like that, huh? He was mama's boy, and she didn't like that. I mean, I don't know about this. This seems a little biased, to be honest, because something about mama is telling me that she didn't like the way she didn't like some. Obviously, she didn't like Shanann.
It was a little bit too late, though,
to your face. But something she did not like that girl. So everything she's saying.
It was a little bit too late, though. I mean, he had already confessed, and then he said it. Like, I don't know. I guess because we watch true crime and stuff, we know, like, lawyer, lawyer. Just don't say anything except lawyer. That's what I would do.
About her, I feel like you gotta take it with a little grain of salt.
And I can't sing.
And
That's what I would sing.
To you,
very odd. It was very odd. He just seemed nervous.
So how much did you see them over these last 6 years?
Probably twice a year. We would go up there.
So you're gonna go and see them twice a year, but you're gonna put a stick in the relationship by missing the entire wedding. But you're gonna see them twice a year for a decade, though. But you're gonna miss the wedding. Like, come on, mom, get it together.
Well, I don't think he understands that they worked it out. Like, they worked it out. She got pregnant, and they called, and they wanted to make amends, and that's when the twice a year started to happen. It didn't happen before the amends.
If that was my wife, I would be like, ma'am, woman, you're gonna have to get it together and go to this wedding, or I'm going without you. Take it or leave it. Like, I'm not gonna go in. Like, come on, there's certain boundaries you gotta draw, bro. Like,
yeah, I like for the dad, I'm shocked that I'm not shocked because Cindy runs it, but I like Ronnie supposedly is his best friend. I mean, he was probably gonna be his best man, or no? Who? I don't know. That's just like thinking about it. That's devastating. That's devastating. Right before my wedding, my stepdad fell and broke his hip. And then later died a few days after my wedding. But it's just overshadowed my entire wedding. And like, I didn't basically have my mom or anybody with me because But I'm shocked that Ronnie didn't stand up to Cindy.
Son is getting married. I'm going to see my son's wedding. You can get it together, or I'm gonna come out here and look stupid for the both of us. You know what I mean? Like, come on now.
Did you stay with them, or?
Yeah, we would stay.
You stay with them? Yes. No.
And stay a week and then come back home.
Tell me about Bella and Celeste.
Oh, Bella was just like Chris, just like him, shy, cautious, conservative. Cece was a ball of fire. I mean, she was fearless.
Yeah, like her mom, like the woman you hate. So
yeah.
Show some love, man.
It's so funny when they like describe Cece as being, a ball of fire, and that was Shanann. And they would even say like Bella's more like Chris and Cece's more like Shanann, So I don't know.
That shit's crazy. The other daughter, the ball of fire, is just like the mother, I'm sure. And you love two of them just the same. So why don't you get that little petty shit out of here? I mean, it's too late for that. They're both 6 feet under, but like, it's just a shame. Like, I feel like even if the family was tighter, if mom did her part as well, I mean, we can't blame it all on her mom, but if mom helped and did her part in terms of not causing any extra stress, we may have not even been here.
Fearless. She just loved to run.
I don't know. That's a little unfair to say if the Watts weren't so stressful, Chris wouldn't have done what he did. Do you think that's fair? I don't know.
So
I mean, because Chris is the MF, the mother trucker that did all this BS, that created this whole Watts Island, that, like, he's such a monster. And he's such a monster.
Wonderful. It breaks my heart to know that they're not here. They were beautiful children. Beautiful children.
What did they call you?
Mimi.
Mimi. How about Ronnie? What did they call?
Papa.
Do you think Chris loves Shanann?
Oh, God, he loved her. Yes, I believe he loved her at first. I believe he did. But I think as the years went on, I think it just being in that kind of a relationship, which the social worker even said that marriage should have ended a long time ago.
Really?
Pregnancy, and what did Chris tell you about that? Was he excited?
No, I don't think he was. I think it was.
I mean, did you see the video, sir? Did you see the "Oops, we did it again" video? That was not excitement.
Shock to him, and he said that they have been talking about divorce. That they are not compatible anymore, and he was not happy.
I do believe that they had started. This is my opinion. They had started talking about divorce, and then they decided to do the third, the baby that, saves the marriage, but never saves it, always just destroys it later. And then you just have another child in the mix. I think that's what they were going for.
More. And I finally thought he's finally seen the light.
And I take it Chris had never been in trouble with the law.
Never. He's got one speeding ticket and didn't even know about that.
That's crazy. So they were talking about divorce way before she even got pregnant. See, he fucked up, bro. Which I'll go back to the same point. Why didn't you just get a divorce?
That's what everybody says.
Just get a divorce, bro.
I can't tell you if I had even like a dime, a penny for each time I've heard someone say, why didn't he just get a divorce? Why didn't they, I'd freaking be rich. I would be rich. I'd be a rich witch.
You went over here and fucked your whole life up, and you could have just got a simple divorce. Your mom would have been happy, and you could have just moved on. Have some baby mama drama every once in a while. But no, you go and take her out and the kids.
Constant baby mama drama, because if he ended up with NK, can you imagine NK and Shanann? And people get mad when I laugh about a crime case, but I'm sorry, if you can't imagine things and laugh, if I stayed sad all the time, I wouldn't be here. So can you imagine Shanann and NK? And then let's make it even worse. NK decides to get pregnant too. So NK, but she has a daughter instead. And then, can you imagine?
That is crazy. That's a crazy reset move right there. That is crazy. Even if he got away with that, he would have been imprisoned in his mind. That would have been haunting him forever.
Tell me what happened when they were reported missing. What did you find out? How did you find out? Who told you?
I think Ronnie called me. Ronnie called me and said that they're missing. And I thought, I don't believe it. I didn't believe they were missing. I believe that she was going to punish Chris. She was just going to punish him, take the girls, and just punish him. I had no idea of anything else. Christopher called.
I don't
said,
think
Mom, they're searching the house. I said, okay.
I don't think she does know Turquoise. I think she's just telling what she witnessed at the time, but 2 visits a year isn't enough to really say much about anything, in my opinion. And I just think that but you can't take back what you say, this is a good lesson. You can't take back what you say. So maybe just kind of watch what you say and be kinder words. I mean, would the world ever be worse with kinder words opposed to harsh words? I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah, you ain't got nothing to hide.
and I still was not worried. I was not worried. I just thought Shanann had run off with girls.
So walk me through the sequence of events over the next few days. Did you and your husband travel to Colorado?
Ronnie did.
Okay.
Ronnie did. And I mean, Christopher let everybody come in. Her phone is there. Her purse is there. Everything is there.
I don't know if I would say people that support the Watts don't talk about NK. I have seen people that support the Watts talk about NK. Like, for example, hold on, I got to clear my throat. Kelly from Watts the Obsession talks about NK all the time, and she is a huge supporter of Cindy and Ronnie. In fact, when I talked to her on the phone the last time, she talked about how wonderful the Watts were, and she just wished more for them. And I do, I don't know if they're wonderful or not, but I wish more for them as much as I wish more for the rechecks, which I've seen Sandy's been back online recently. So when I do my little catch up of the Watts case, I'll show you what she's been posting. Ooh, are we doing drinks? Is Heavenly handing out drinks? Because I see J Lord is getting sweet tea. I would like some ice cold water, please. And I'm from Michigan, but I live in Florida. Where's everybody else?
But there's no kids and there's no Shanann. And
I saw Heavenly's from Tennessee.
I was not worried. I thought she has just gone off and I'm going to punish you for this and you can worry about me. But when Christopher called us.
Yeah, he's an idiot too. He lets everybody in the house and he doesn't think that, hey, purse there, kid toys there, no kid clothes gone. You don't think that's going to look suspicious? That they basically just...
He didn't have time to come back and set the scene. That's what the problem was. Thanks, J Lord. When I'm sick, I have extra time to lay and think, and I get I think that's where the depression is coming to. I just got to get up and moving. I did laundry and stuff today, and it's getting better.
Finished without taking their things. Like, come on now. When you walk out and you leave, you take some shit with you, so that you can survive. You don't just walk out with nothing.
And he said, I said, do you want us to come down now? He said, tell Dad I need him. Tell Dad I need him to come down. I said, what about me? He said, no, Mom, just stay. Just send Dad. And he picked him up at the airport and they drove to the police station.
This is right here. I wouldn't, would you guys have stayed, where are they, in North Carolina or South Carolina? I get the Carolinas mixed up, but would you stay and not come to Colorado? I would be like, no, sir. I am on that plane right next to your dad. It shocks me that she didn't go because she seems like to run things, but I think she was she fell to her knees when she was told. So I think she was just terrified that this might be happening, that she stayed back.
And Chris still didn't say anything to him. Nothing. He had already been interrogated 7 hours prior to that. He had already let the police go into his home.
Ooh, you do, Tandy?
He had, and he was going in for another.
I feel the call of Colorado. I cannot wait until my coach was asking me, he said, Amy, I have a wand and I'm waving it. What will you be doing with your channel? And I said, I will be traveling. I will be going to live court cases. I will be going to true crime sites. So I will be doing that in Colorado. I feel the call of Colorado.
Interrogation.
Yeah.
The next thing after 5 hours.
Round 2 of the interrogation where they already had him dead to rights. They had him in the corner already. It was basically go to jail time. And he was so dumb, he didn't ask for a lawyer in this entire time. The whole time.
So
twice. Dumb. But you know why? Because I think at the end of the day, he was going to have to
tell
somebody.
Right. Twice
if he got away with it, he was going to tell his dad or his mom, and they were going to tell the police. Or he was just going to, eventually he was going to tell somebody.
Hours, they called Ronnie and said that your son wants to talk to you before he tells us anything. And that's when Christopher broke down and cried and said, I'm sorry, Dad. He said, I went to
Oh,
a
is
raising
it
of Hilda
Ellie?
Damn.
after she killed Cece and Bella.
Bullshit.
And he found out where he is, and then they wouldn't let him see him. He couldn't see him. And so he was going back to the airport when his public defender called him and told him to come back. So, and that's when Ronnie met his public defender. And so talked to her for a while. And they kept in touch with us and let us know what's going on.
And then what was the next update that you got? Was it?
The next update I got was Ronnie called Jamie and told them they found their bodies. And they rushed over here. Nobody told me anything until they walked through the door. And they told me what happened, and I just fell to the floor. I just fell to the floor. It was unbelievable. And it's been unbelievable ever since. And
What did his attorneys tell you about contact with him, starting with his
none.
arrest?
No contact. Everything is recorded. No contact. No letter writing. I didn't see the harm in the letters. Hi, son. Love you. Keep fighting. We are
The
here.
whole letter thing, I don't understand either. Yes, Heavenly, let's do it for sure. When is it? How far out is it? Because it's got to be a little ways out, because I got to caught up on my bills. I got to get in a world where I'm not fighting to pay my basics every month. Yeah. Is everything okay in chat? I'm only like scanning chat while I'm watching this at the same time. So just let me know if everything's okay.
To support you. What is wrong with that? What can the DA do about letters like this?
Oh, next June?
Why couldn't we just write him a letter? We did.
That could maybe go on the vision board, the Parawomenradio vision board. Yes.
What we were told to do. When they called us to tell us that Chris was thinking of a plea, that he wanted to speak to us about it. And when we got down there, it was a lie. They wouldn't let us talk to him about anything. And then we had to talk to him through a screen and a phone. And
oh my God, look at the inhumane way that they're treating the mass murderer. Oh my God. It was a lie. And then we had to speak to him through a screen.
How did she think that it was going to happen? Like they were going to sit in a room and hug? Like, it's probably been a long time. Well, she probably hugged when she visited, but like, how long do you think? She probably hugged when he left North Carolina. Is it North Carolina they live in? She probably hugged him, and then what? How many years later did she hug him?
Oh man, I get where she's coming from because she's his mom, but at the same time I don't, because I'm not his mom. So, fuck that. We're not trying to hear that shit, lady. Like, at the end of the day, he did that. I do think Shanann and him did not get, like, they weren't compatible from the start, and that's probably one of the reasons why he went ballistic on her eventually, because it was just too much stress on him. As a man, you got
I think he wanted Shanann so bad that he pretended to be somebody he totally wasn't. And then, he's like 2 or 3 years into the marriage, and he's like, what do I do? I'm a wuss. What do I do? Let's start having affairs. We'll do that. And then this happened.
able to handle a little bit of stress, bro. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. But what's crazy is he just ended his world. You know how crazy that is? Man, you have a couple years of stress after the divorce, and you'll be making jokes at the barbecue about your ex-wife.
Know. I can't.
You know what I mean? I see it every day.
Sherry K, are you okay? I mean, what's going on?
The OG talking about his ex-wife back in the day, clutching up on his woman now, fully in love. Like, sometimes sometimes things just move on. But he was like, nah, fuck that. Hard reset. Off you. He went crazy. He went crazy, bro. He didn't know what to do. And I think it says something about his childhood because the quiet kid who got along with everybody. If you got along with everybody, that means you're scared of confrontation. Because I guarantee you, in high school, you're not going to get along with everybody. Number one, if you're going to bottle all that shit up all the way up into your adulthood, there might be a problem there. You know what I mean? You need to get that shit out in high school. You're just so quiet and timid and never fought back for yourself. Then your woman, you feel like you're disrespected and you go off. Nah, bro. Yeah, I mean, boo-hoo. I get what she feels like, but hey, at the same time, bro, he made a mistake, man.
And the
He just
kids. I
looked.
mean,
He
jeez.
he was crying. I mean, he wasn't crying. He was. You could see the movement in his mouth that when I talked about Bella and I talked about Cece and the memorial service that we had for them, and he asked what pictures did we use, and what was the song. Just you can see how he was trying to hold back tears.
What day was that? Do you remember?
That's such a lie. Like the holding back tears. I don't believe that for one moment. And if Chris is holding back tears, it's tears for himself. Like I don't like Chris at all. And I think in this at Parawomenradio, people can have differing opinions. Like one person can believe one thing and another person can believe another thing and still get along. And I value that. Like we're almost up to 4,000. And like, how did that happen? First of all, but also I'm proud of the fact that like, for example, there's been a lot of talk lately about Gypsy Rose and Fancy and the two women that I had on our panel. It was like a couple Sundays ago, down the rabbit hole at bedtime, and Toddy One Skip and me. And I feel like we all kind of had differing opinions about things, but we were all very respectful about each other's opinions, and like we listened to each other out. And I felt like we all came to an understanding about why we understood things, and we learned and we grew, and we didn't call each other assholes. And that doesn't happen here. We're just kind to one another, and I'm so proud of you guys for being that way. I just can't tell you how proud I am of Parawomenradio, which I've figured out that the acronym is PWR. So I'm gonna not say Parawomenradio. It's Parawomenradio, but I'm gonna start calling us Power, because it's easier than saying Parawomenradio. We're power. We're power. We're power. And together, like, we're even more powerful. And I just love it.
Flew in on that Monday. We flew in on Monday, and we saw him Monday night, and then the plea deal was on Tuesday.
So Monday night was when you wanted to talk to him about it?
Yes. And we weren't allowed. And it would have helped us so much to be able to talk to him. I wouldn't have to go through all this now. Everything just seems to be shrouded in secrecy. And just tell us what is going on. Let us ask Chris if it's okay if you talk to us. I just don't like the way it was handled from the very beginning. I don't like the way it was handled. I want to save your life. That's all. We're just here. We're going to save his life. We want him to get life in prison. It was like they already knew he was guilty.
Bro, who are you talking about? Wait.
He already said he was guilty, but I do get her point. Like, so what? Everybody knew the death penalty was going to be abolished pretty soon in Colorado. So I don't think that he was doing it to save his life. I think he was doing it to save his reputation, because Chris couldn't handle the stuff that was about to unfold and come out. Like, he just couldn't do it.
Oh, wait, this interview is going hard left for me right now. What the fuck? They did know he was guilty. What the fuck are you talking about? Did you not see the same recording that we saw? Yeah, we're gonna save his life. That's the best we do. Best I could do is save his life. Best I could do is life in prison. Like, you're fucked either way, bro. I mean, take my shit at this point. Like, I don't even give a fuck no more. Like, what's the point, bro? Like, I'm a goal motivated person. Like,
I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen with this live, because he's what happens when people swear all the time in a live? I don't even know if I get demonetized. I don't know what's gonna happen. He's Like, I love a good swear word too, but I don't usually do it. I know I've said asshole a lot, but only because I think the Gypsy Rose thing has made me so angry that somebody called Katie an asshole. And so I'm saying it constantly in this live, but he's saying the F word. What is going to happen? I don't know what this is going to turn out.
What the fuck are we actually doing right now? You know what I mean? So, yeah. Mom's is tripping. Mom's is tweaking. What are you talking about? Yeah, we're going to try to save his life. That's the only thing we can do. Would you prefer capital punishment? Like, the fuck are we talking about?
And
Cindy's
this was
like, yeah.
the end of it.
Were you worried about the death
It is
penalty
the
being
end
a
of it.
possibility?
No,
No,
I
not
don't care about
worried
the
at
death penalty.
all.
Nobody's going to die in Colorado.
Oh,
She's
she
got a
cocky.
point.
Oh, she cocky too. Oh,
She's
hit
spicy.
moms, man. Good luck to Ronnie to Ronnie Watts, because this lady is a handful herself, and I'm starting to realize this. Whoa.
Well, I
Think
mean,
anyone has what, one person?
the
Colorado.
strangest thing in this whole case is Ronnie doing the white snow. That is just like, I think about that all the time. And I think about it because I worked at a substance abuse place and I did intakes. And I think about, because there was this guy and his wife that came in and they were just so normal looking, like completely normal. And he had this snow addiction, and in the middle of the night she said she would hear her drawer, the nightstand drawer, slowly creak open, and he would be, and then she'd hear him snorting, and he'd do it like he wouldn't get out of bed, he'd just do it right next to him. And I think about that family all the time when I think about this. It's just like, it just happens to anybody and everybody, and that's what addiction is.
It was changing. So people stay on death row forever. Wow. There was no.
Wow.
I think you'd be safer on death row.
Wow.
And her parents said they didn't want any more death. So I don't see how the death penalty could have mattered.
Wow, dude, that's kind of, his mom is kind of wild for that one. I'm not gonna lie. What do you guys think about his lovely mother? What do you guys think about Chris's lovely mother? Hit me up in the comments.
One is the truth. I just want the truth.
I wish she would do a new professional, like a really professional interview, like a sit down interview with a reputable person. And I would just really like to hear what she has to say now.
That's it.
And I'm not saying that the interviews that she was doing before aren't reputable. I'm just, they should be out there for everybody to consume. I would like a video that's out there for everyone to consume that I could look at myself without any issues.
And I guess maybe he is. I don't know.
Lady, you're in denial.
Can't see him doing that.
What do you think the truth is about how Shanann and Bella and Celeste died?
Oh, God, I don't know anymore. Honestly. I don't know his frame of mind. And I don't know his frame of mind. Because why would you plead guilty to something you didn't do? And that's all I want to know. Why would you plead guilty if you didn't do it? If you told your dad you didn't do it? And that's what I want to know.
He did.
And they said, well, you'll find all that out. Christopher will talk to you when and after he's sentenced. Well, isn't that too late then? And isn't it too late? What if he tells me, no, I didn't do it? I just took this plea deal because they told me I was going to go to jail anyways.
Oh, God, give your mother
Isn't that what he ended up doing anyway? Like, kind of like similar to that? Like, and till this day, he's not told. Like, it just angers me. You don't know how angry I get when I think about Chris stringing his family along the way he does. And I get angry too that they allow it.
Either she's delusional or Chris is feeding her some crazy stories, some pipe dreams of innocence. Like, bro, this man is more guilty. Like, guys, I'm not even gonna spend 5 minutes talking about this lady. She's just delusional.
Like, I get so angry when I see injustice and it's happening right in front of your face, and like people are saying, no, the sky isn't blue, it's green, right? And you're like, I can see that it's blue. No, it's green. what do? You know, you just do a little eye back and forth, and then you okay. But then when you think about it, I get angry again. I don't know.
Into that. Did you not see the neighbor's footage? Sketchy, huh? And he was like, well, how do you think they ended up in a shallow ass grave by his work site? Oh, I don't know. I don't even know anymore. Ma'am, get evaluated, please. You need, and get some therapy. Get some help.
I hope
Like,
she
what the
got
fuck
therapy.
Just want the truth. All of us just want the truth. That's all. But I would like to know what triggered it. How can a normal young man,
She
and
can't accept
he's
it.
normal. He was normal, but he wasn't evaluated when he came into the system. He wasn't normal if he did this.
Must be bewildering.
It's bewildering to me. It is. It is absolutely. How does this happen? How did this happen? And I go back in my mind thinking, was there something I didn't pick up with on Chris? But I can't think of anything except he was quiet.
It sounds like in your own mind, you're unsure as to what happened.
Yes.
Have you?
Okay, I don't know. What the fuck? Are you accepting it or denying it? It's like she's accepting and denying. Now she's saying, what did I do wrong?
She's going through different stages. She's cycling back and forth through some stages. You can tell.
What happened? What triggered it?
Of
You
grief.
just said 2 seconds ago that he said he's innocent and you believe he's innocent. Like, lady, go home and get some rest. Like, damn. He got his mom fucked up. He needs to look his mom in the eye and be like, Mom, I did it. I fucked up. Like, please do that to your mom.
This
Do
is
that.
like close to like, when was this interview? Like December, November? I mean, it just had happened in August. I mean, wow.
For her sake, for her sanity, bro. Like, geez.
She does need to go home and get
Have
some
you reconciled
therapy.
the idea that he could have done all of this?
Yes. And that scares me to death. It scares me to death to think that he could have done all of this. And I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there right now.
I don't think
But
she's able to go there.
I don't see why he's pleading guilty. I wouldn't. I'd fight. I'd fight to the end. But then you ask yourself, would a normal person dispose of the bodies the way he did? And I would have called 911 if it happened like that.
What would you say to Chris right now if he were sitting
I
here?
think we all would have called 911, Cindy, or like most of us.
If we were by ourselves?
Yeah.
I would say, Christopher, I need to know what happened that night. I need to know.
But you've said that you've been to him and you've said that you want to know what happens, and he said no, not now, or you said something like, well, no, not right, not now. But when, Cindy? When are you going to demand that he tells you? When are you going to shut off his books and let all the girls and whatever and tell him you're not going to talk to him until he tells you? But it'd just be another lie, I'm sure.
What happened? I've got to get these thoughts out of my head. What I think.
See what I'm saying?
Happened.
He needs to set his mom free, tell her what the fuck happened. Now, aren't you able to have visitation rights? She needs to just visit his ass and be like, all right, Chris, you either avoid me like a little bitch or you come tell me what happened. I love you regardless. Just tell me what happened. Like, because you can't, like, clearly her, I don't think she could undo that love she has for him. So it's kind of like, you just got to tell me so my mind can rest. You know, like, that's crazy. I'm sure his dad rested that fact a long time ago.
But I need to know. And I think in time he will tell me.
I don't
Probably
think
nothing you ever would have imagined you would have faced.
Never. No, and not from the son that I raised and Ronnie raised and our children, you know.
I mean, you can tell she's not faking this grief. It's right there. You can see it right there all over her face. It's everywhere. Like, I can even feel it oozing out of her.
We just did everything for them. We worked for them. We wanted them to have a good life, good education. And we stressed education. And they were both doing well. I thought, you know, I knew marriages can be bad, but you can get out of them and go on. But I don't know what was going through anybody's mind that night.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I mean, I feel too much. I mean, I definitely feel everything way too much and have a conscience that I just feel way too much.
What do you want to happen now? What would you hope would happen now?
Well, I want Chris to have his day in court. I mean, I need to know. I mean, I'd feel wonderful if I could talk to him and he could tell me what happened, and then we can all go on. But if he didn't do it, if he did not do this, then I need somebody to defend him.
Nah, he took that plea, baby.
He
was
let
like,
her go around saying fight, fight, fight for so long.
I'm having bad thought after bad thought after bad thought today. Everything is falling down on top of me. I wanna lie here on this cold hard ground and cry for a while. And I really don't care who sees me at this point